For the month of July, we are going to focus on preventive medicine in sexual health. And what's more important to talk about prevention of HIV transmission. Obviously, the world is very different compared to the 1980s. When HIV first emerged, everyone considered the transmissions of the HIV and contractions of HIV/AIDS is a death sentence. Even though now HIV sometimes can be considered as a chronic disease, obviously not contracting it will be ideal. And what are the ways not to contract it? Effectively, there are 4 ways. 1, it's abstinence. Obviously, abstinence is easier said than done. If you don't have sex, you will never get it, but that's not always possible. However, the second option, which is a circumcision. When you look at the study, which are 3 big randomized controlled trials that looking at a group of sub-Saharan African men, compared them with the circumcised group versus a non-circumcised group, the most recent study published in 2020 actually highlighted overall there is a 60% reduction of the transmission of HIV in men who had circumcision. The real mechanism behind this is largely unknown, but what is believed is that the moist microenvironment that the foreskin created for the glans penis is actually diminished whenever a man undergoes circumcision. That itself is considered protective. However, obviously just with circumcision itself, it's not enough because it reduces your risk but doesn't protect you from getting HIV transmission. So the second more important way of reducing HIV will be the use of condoms. There are 25 randomized controlled trials that actually is being accumulated in a meta-analysis showing that if the condom is used consistently and properly and without lubrication, then the protective effect, even though one partner is contracted HIV, the protective effect is 91%. More importantly, the newer data show that if somebody actually has got an HIV partner, and out of these 888 heterosexual couples, if they have 25,000 of sexual acts over a 2-year period, if one of the partners who is HIV positive and being treated with antiviral to the extent that the virus is not detectable, the chance of transmission is 0. Obviously, we move a long way from the 1980s world of a death sentence of one virus to the treatment of the conditions so that men and women don't die from HIV. However, prevention is better than cure. For next week, we're going to talk about prevention of getting erectile dysfunction. Stay tuned for next week's Putting Dr. G on the Spot.